So now we're going to come over to documents. So we need to select what kind this is as far as the checklist. So yours is going to look a little bit different than what mine might look like. So if I come into residential buyer, all right, I chose that this is a residential buyer resale. So we have our own checklist for that. And I need to make sure I have my buyer agreement signed. So I probably would have set this up much earlier, which is the whole point is as soon as they say they have the interest in buying, selling, investing in real estate, that's when you start an opportunity, not when you go like I am and just hold something on a prop. But I want to be able to show you this so you can see the different checklists in here. You can see there's DSs and LWs in here. That's because we had started to play with adding these in. That means your checklist is mapped over, so these documents will automatically push over into that. And you can see I have already set up my Lone Wolf Transact. I had shown in another video how to do that. So I can now select between that or DocuSign. So I'm going to go ahead and select Lone Wolf. And all my things that are in here, like my brokerage relationship disclosure, all that stuff, that will be automatically pushed over into Lone Wolf, which is now being opened up. The beautiful thing is, as you can see, when I was using DocuSign, you'd have to re-log in again. Once you've logged into Lone Wolf for the first time, now it's opening up just like it's almost part of Command. It almost looks somewhat similar to Command in some ways. From my experience using .loop and using DocuSign and a bunch of other platforms for signature, this is very much like using .loop and DocuSign. Like .loop had a section over here where you could property in. You can see the properties information right there. We can say whether it's accepted or rejected. We can see who the parties are. We can see the property. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to hit import property data. I'm going to tell it Stellar MLS, and I need the properties information. So I'm going to come over here and get this. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to import that. So that should pull the properties information, all that other stuff in here. If there's anything else that we need to put in here, like what the property includes or excludes, you're more than welcome to go do that. But making sure this is all filled out, you don't have to worry about going back and filling it out like better. In fact, all things at large, if you do this sooner, the better. All right, so we can go back to our paperwork.